Ryan Reinhardt, who was my cohort at the Zaki Gordon Institute, he came to me and he said, hey, if we're ever going to make a movie here in northern Arizona and be a part of the school, this is the year to kind of form a company and actually try to do that, because we had an incredible class of students last year and they wanted to come back and make a movie. And I thought, we can do it.
I was amazed that Steph was able to put this together, and everything's been, we've had a very tight time schedule, so he had very little time to write the script. We've had very little time for production, and post-production is going to probably be the same way. When you're dealing with independent film, everything's very tight. You're dealing with very little money, and you have to get it done. So when I saw the script, and I couldn't believe how he got it written, and it seemed like the type of movie we could accomplish because it was taking place, for the most part, in one location.
Actually, when I first wrote the script, I'd thought of the concept probably about a year to 2 years ago and been mulling it around, and I thought, this is kind of a low-budget, easy, kind of quick thing I can just pump out. If I ever wanted to do a low-budget movie really, really fast, this would be easy.
We would curse Stefan's name for giving us such a hard project. I remember when I first read the script, I was like, are you kidding me? A period piece with special effects, big elaborate sets. I was like, are we ever going to be able to finish this thing? But, you know, he would always say, we'll figure it out, we'll figure it out.
And suddenly we realized, oh my gosh, we've got to hang people, we've got to have people fall down stairs, we have ceilings that are collapsed, we have blue screen walls, and we have to distress a building, and we have to, in one shot, go from 1940s to present day.
In normal film schools, you know, you learn the process, you make your small little thesis short film, and then you leave. And this time, we all banded together and made a feature film, which is almost unheard of. Not only that, but a feature film that we wanted to distribute.
The benefit of working with Film Arizona is to really give the students a real hands-on experience at a level at which they would normally not have the opportunity to do it on a feature film. I realized that the person I had married a couple of years ago was up for the challenge as well, to produce a film like this.
Our intention for this project is to have it be marketable, to sell it, and if we have any proceeds at all, we want to put it right back into developing infrastructure so that we can attract larger productions here in northern Arizona and support alumni's intent to make their own feature films, and to also support the projects that we're doing with the students.
It's going great. Gay Gilbert's very talented, she's very organized, and has put together a nice casting session for us.
Our director, Stefan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Kristen Irene. I'm with Danny's agency.
Wonderful, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Another character that I liked a lot too was Deidre. She's a callback.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done this film and made this had I not had the support both of Jeremy and Micah as well, knowing that there were certain elements of the school that I could kind of start allowing them in their process of their understanding of filmmaking to start kind of taking on certain roles, allowing me the freedom to take that second-year class.
Jeremy and I seem to make a pretty good team and balance each other out in what we know. So when you have students on a set, you know, things tend to go at a little slower pace.
When you're learning, you're scrambling a little bit more than you would be if you were on a set and someone's made 10 films.
What is the budget of this project? I mean, there's so many things we were doing that were in kind. Denny and Bill Finney have donated this building to us, and it's an incredible space for this particular production.
We're going in, guys. So this is the location, and this will be the hallway. The tumble shot, when she's tumbling down the stairs. But I'll show you the next room, and I think it works a little better for the torture room. If we hang some kind of steel piping around here and put the operating table right here, use this as the torture area.
And Lori's working on extras for that. It's about 6 psych patients. I think, Mike, you said you wanted to be a psych patient?
Yeah, or unless there's somebody being tortured.
Yeah, you get the rock in the corner and drool.
You got us all freaked out.
Nobody did anything.
You did this.
She's my friend too.
Scene 6?
Scene 6, and this is picking up Vicky.
Oh yeah, alright. For sure. We should just like say nice things to each other for once.
if that's okay with you guys.
No, I don't know how to describe this film anymore. It's all like pieces and parts that are being cooked together, and maybe someday I'll be able to eat it and say, that was good.
Chris Parthier, who is also co-producing it with Laurie, who really I knew was very capable.
Because we're students, thinking that you're going to be inferior because you're an amateur, and so you're exposed.
Play with the button. Ah! I was so ready to accept failure. Did you see that? Like, no, mine doesn't work.
And I'm also doing some art direction.
You give me $1, I clean your windshield, you give me $1.
And I'm also doing some janitorial duties.
I've been at the Zaki Gordon Institute for 2 years now. I'm in the advanced program. We have a really great crew of people, and we're all pretty fun-loving individuals. It's all about kind of how you spark together and work well.
I mean, extremely small crew, and but they're doing it, and these guys have been working really, really hard. Everybody has multiple jobs. Nobody's just in the grip department or in production design. Everybody's helping each other out. So it's been, it's kind of the community theater of filmmaking.
I came from Brazil 2 years ago. Be able to work with a group of people that you trust and you love to be around. The group of four, me, Josh, Breck, and Chris. Relation of knowing each other so well that we not even need to talk sometimes.
I've been a student at Zaki Gordon for 3 years now. My primary roles in this film were camera and special effects.
The story is about a bunch of reckless teenagers who decide that they want to crash a hospital.
They want to have a little fun, so a couple of them take off. And
they go inside, they get stuck, and they can't find their way out, and they're getting tired as time goes on, but none of them want to go to sleep.
When I did go to sleep, I found myself in this type of world. I don't know what's dream and what's reality.
They're tested to the farthest degree of relationships and the will to survive.
Every time they turn around, it's a different room, and they have everything shifting on them. Through it all, they begin to realize that they had a past life that they spent here doing awful things.
But I think as time went on, they had to learn to work together and deal with each other to work through the situation.
It's an interesting concept in that we were already there and then come back in a different time period together and relive it all, and we basically have no choice but to repent.
And how scary is that?
Production design just entails just the basic look of the film. What props the actors are going to have, the set pieces in the room, the color of paint on the walls. I really wanted a sort of strange look for the hospital because a lot of weird and sort of bad things happen, so I didn't want to go with, traditional white or anything. So we decided to go with this sort of putrid hospital green. Whether it was making spider webs, whether it was, destroying the building, anything. It was like our first time doing it. When you're making a movie, you can't make a condemned building look like a condemned building. You have to make it look like a movie condemned building. Like, everything has to be exaggerated, from the rubble to the torn out walls to the dripping wallpaper, everything.
We can do a moving gurney. We can also just park the gurney right on a green screen and dolly into the gurney.
It's just trying to create a split here, so where the new building, actually the 1940s building, goes into the present building, which is decayed.
Okay, ready? Rehearsal's up.
Ross, you're just going to go like this ever so often? Get a little bit of wind on her face. Just give her a little wind.
Wait till I get her in there before you hit me over the head.
She's going to be standing on this, Ross.
Don't I get to hit Jeremy on the head with this?
Ross, she's going to be standing on this. Jeremy's going to roll her in. She's going to come over here, climb up on this. And then once we start shaking again and it looks like we're moving again, then give her a little bit of waft. Just a nice little wind.
Another thing we're doing is we're making lots of rubble with different pieces of styrofoam and gray paint.
And keep going. I got this hard light.
It's probably just gonna
Yeah, guys, toss it up and
just
down.
gonna,
Out and into frame.
It's been a little bit stressful because there are certain things that you really want at that time, and you don't have it, so you have to makeshift it. And I think that the students really were very creative in doing that.
Blue screen or any, a solid color like this, green or blue, is something that digitally we can remove and put anything else we want in here.
And you can tell we've spared no expense here.
No, this rig right here, this costs $350,000.
Yes, so don't tell our producer.
I didn't think we'd be able to get any of the antiques, and I was worried about it for just weeks and weeks, thinking how am I going to get. I kept looking on, different internet sites, and all the antiques would cost like hundreds of dollars, and I knew we didn't have a budget, and so I didn't know what to do. But then as soon as we started searching through the antique shops in Cottonwood, I just remember every time we would go there, they would just, every different shop was really helpful. They all had a plan in which they would let us rent their antiques. I remember I couldn't find surgical tools anywhere. That was one thing that I was having a big problem with. A former student had a whole lot of surgical tools.
Even though this is like a student film thing, it's still really like, it's a full set and it's a full cast and it's a full script, and it's not, there's nothing about it that's hokey or fake, and everything's really, you got HD, makeup lady, it's how it would be anywhere else.
We're very fortunate to have professional makeup and professional wardrobe on board. It takes a lot of pressure off the producers.
5 years on Seinfeld and Cheers. So Hollywood was good to me. And I'm thrilled to be out of it. When he goes into his 40s look, we bring all of this up under his cap or tie it back with his surgical cap. And then he becomes someone of the 40s. And then he's now modern day who hangs out with a goth girl. So he's kind of a scrunch bum living out of a storage bin.
Noah himself as a person is probably one of the most hysterical people I've ever met, and I love being on him. He's so funny.
This is where he's going to have his teeth drilled out to be tortured to see how much actors can take. He thinks it's just going to be filmed, but we know it's really going to show him.
It's method.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Okay.
The scene when I'm combing Grace's hair is definitely my favorite scene. Kristen Irene was extremely generous within the scene for me to intimidate her. The costuming and the makeup was just something that took me out of my own element, and it really transported me, and it really created this amazing character just visually.
I am post-production supervisor, so I am not only overseeing post-production, but I'm overseeing the capture of HD here on the set, which is quite a challenge at times. So we're doing it a little differently because we're going to try and capture uncompressed HD. So Mike over here is making those cables as we speak, and sound is going to go straight to this computer and also to another laptop that Linda's going to be controlling.
This is my 3rd year at Zaki. And to me, the whole filmmaking process, whether you're doing sound or camera or whatever, it's like putting a puzzle together.
We've had a lot of technical issues. There's a lot of things to constantly be fixing. I mean, we have cables go down, we have hard drives go down, we have computers go down. There's the cameras going down.
Man, it's just dusty like hell.
If the sound isn't right, you're not going to believe the picture. You're not going to believe, you're going to be taken right out of the film.
No, I was still trying to figure out how to make the collapsing ceiling, and I didn't know what to do. And I just said, why don't we just have the door lock? Why don't we let's forget about the collapsing ceiling? We'll just have the door lock, and that'll be fine. And he looked at me and he said, no, we can't do the easy way. We'll figure it out.
This is huge concrete blocks flying at you. Don't hang. If you got more space, get into it.
I'll get back there.
Okay, ready?
Action!
How's your lens?
Don't tell us how we do it. That was beautiful.
It's hard to do it this way, to teach and make a film at the same time. Make a film that is marketable.
I'm not sure if I'm getting what he wants. Stefan pointed more in the right direction as far as crafting, my camera style.
There's a lot of benefits for students. I don't know that it's a big benefit for the filmmakers. You know, it's a really hard way to do a film. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if you could just throw money at something and just hire a crew and get the job done.
I'd have to say some of the slower moving camera work is a little bit difficult because you have to really keep your attention focused to get a nice smooth look while still trying to have a nice composition on the shot.
Say, go through the divorce scene.
One day we had a scene where Grace cut her wrist while she was breaking a mirror. So we had to think of how to make blood pumping out of her wrist. And we had these little tubes, and we had one of our cameramans, Brett Cowan, he was blowing through the tubes, trying to get the blood through the tubes to come out of the wrist, and it wouldn't come out. And you know, none of us knew what to do. And I remember Stefan in the other room yelling like, blow harder, and Brett was trying to blow on the tube, and you just saw this blood sort of bubbling out, the tube kept popping up.
We've got a lot of really energetic, vibrant cast.
Man, this character is written directly for me, you know?
You guys, you need a third wheel? Yeah.
Oh, good doggy. Okay, all right. Good doggy, good doggy. Get the ball.
Action.
Holy Jesus, you got it. Wow. Did you full focus? Okay, that was it.
Guys, you need uppers, coffee, chocolate. What is it you need? Second wind.
So just wondering, are we leaving out things? Are we leaving out things so that someone's going to be confused? You know, am I confused? Did we shoot that scene? Do I know any more what's going on? And you're going to go across this? Okay.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to take it. The bread's going to be on the other end and catch it.
Oh, cool.
Let's start going. Chris, come on down.
It's in Holbrook. It's a jail. It's a museum now, and it's a really cool space. Just to kind of give the film a little bit of a spooky edge. Like, why would they have this kind of a prison in the bottom of a hospital?
Action!
Cookies? Say no, pig. I just wanted to see them.
It was more like a... God dang, this place is freaky.
Nice work, guys!
I was super excited because there's a stereotypical character for Hispanics, and when I read this, I was like, yes, I get to be the intelligent, wealthy girl instead of the regular stereotypical maid or somebody with, you know, less money and maybe a gang member. My favorite scene, honestly, would have to be where Vicky hangs herself. It was very challenging to, you know, put myself in that situation.
We had to have a full body shot, so we couldn't use, you know, we were limited in how we could hang her, so it had to look like a real hanging from a wide shot. And I just remember thinking, how are we ever going to do this? I remember Jeremy building the harness, and I looked at it and I never thought it would work.
I rigged up a harness and a climbing rope through a pulley to allow the safety of this particular shot. I didn't even feel one drop of fear from her, especially because we, prior to going into the room, walked step by step what the harness is going to be like, how you're going to feel when you're up there, where I'm going to be, what the people are going to be doing.
Even when we get an actress up on a harness, it looks more like Peter Pan than someone who's hanging from a noose. Finally, we evened it out, and somehow it worked.
The makeup looked so great. Like when I would see the people walk out, I'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I didn't even think about them being in makeup. It's like they've got these dark circles under their eyes, and I'm like.
Can you come over here? Looks perfect. Just do it. Give him a smile.
I really do not want to see a nurse like that by my bedside, though. No. Beautiful. Oh my God, scary.
Looks good. He's giving you an excellent performance, of course.
Let me see the close-up of him.
Wow.
School is good.
Yeah, it's looking
That's spooky scary.
Wish them.
Okay, let me go. Here, Rocco. The hands come out. Oh, right. All it is a hand coming out of this, going like this, with him over there. Just need a hand coming out of the bin.
Stefan is a great cinematographer. I consider him like a mentor, not only him, but all the teachers from Zaki.
Well, I'm in charge of all the post-special visual effects. Walking through the wall and out into 1940s.
So it's been amazing, like how Micah can do his compositing. He's a really talented guy.
We have amazing looking footage for such no budget.
We still have a lot of work to do. It's like hours and hours without sleeping. And when you're sleeping, you're thinking about the cut and what you're gonna do the next day. Sometimes you get out of the computer lab just seeing like computer screens all over the place.
If the special effects in this movie don't look good, the movie won't look good.
The sound design can't really happen until we have a picture. We don't have a picture yet. You could say our hands are bound.
Yes. And you can take that however you want also. The scary part for me was going on set, feeling the pressure of, okay, we're going to start shooting. Wait, I need 20 minutes to set up. And then ultimately you figure out, okay, this will be adequate or it won't be. We're going to have to re-record it later.
There's hundreds and hundreds of hours of work left to do still. And there's a lot of collaborating between the director and ourselves to complete that work. It's an audio-visual experience, you know, so half of that is sound. The way a sound design can add depth and meaning and nuance, the way you can capture an audience's imagination through their unconscious as opposed to what they're paying attention to consciously is quite profound. You have to just do it, and I think that Steph is right on with that idea that, you know, the way to learn how to make films is to make films. And the way to make a film, you know, without the budget and without the support is to just get everybody together and do it. And I think that's what we're doing.
I realized, wow, I looked at it, I thought, there is just no turning back. This thing has grown into an amazing process for people who want to become filmmakers.
They're thinking this is, you know, independent film, and that it might be unorganized or it's chaos, it's just confusion. And I told them that this is better organized and moving along smoother than films I've been on that have had multi-million-dollar budgets. So surprisingly, it's really been working out, and I think the students have gotten incredible experience from this thing. They're going to be very proud of what they've created in the end.
I'm amazed. I really am amazed, but at the same time I'm not, because I know Zaki and I know this school, the way Steph really pushes it to the limits.
I'm extremely happy that I took it on. I think from where I started at the beginning of the year to where I am now with my first feature film under my belt, and one of the hardest feature films I could possibly imagine working on, I am leagues beyond where I started.
These particular students could run a set outside of the program.
For the most part, I think we did a good job, you know, bringing it all together.
Whether bad or good, it's all learning. So if total crap happens, I've grown from that experience.
It's amazing. I mean, there's two different stories that are really being told, and hopefully the audience will get both stories, and they're gonna come home and they're gonna talk about it a lot.
It's been an incredible process to watch everything fall into place. I don't even know what to call it, but when it happens like that, you feel like there's something bigger taking part in it, and it feels like the right thing, you know. It was the right piece at the right time, the right people are involved, and I can't wait to see the finished product.
You have to face all the things that you're going to have to face in the big world of filmmaking. I think you face them quite quickly, you know. And because it is an entirely problem-solving atmosphere, you can see that some people don't want to problem solve, so they're probably not going to stick around filmmaking. And if you don't mind the fact that you're always going to be up against a wall constantly and you got to figure out a way around it, then you realize that it's going to be something that you're going to love to do for the rest of your life.
And the fun part is just doing what you love. So
the students have worked exhaustively to make this project, and this really is their film. I mean, the design that Laura came up with is everybody gets a point on the end of the day. Everybody's going to make money. It's their film. It's everybody's movie, and I think that's a really great model and relationship that private enterprise can provide for the process of the education of students. I still probably will kill Brian for getting us into this whole thing, but I'm kidding.
Yes.